And do I know where I'm going? No. Good morning, folks, from Baja California Sur in Mexico. It's a nice morning. It's not hot. There's been a few clouds. We are doing a little backtracking because I missed something in one of those towns that we just went through. While we're waiting for my tires to air up because we're hitting pavement again, I'm gonna check out this little shrine. It's just one of thousands of little roadside shrines. I don't know if this one's being kept up or not. Oh, it is. People have been keeping it up and lighting their candles to Our Lady of Guadalupe. I really wish I could stop at every single shrine along the way and take a look at them, but there's a lot, so you can't stop for everyone you see. You know, there's no way I'm going through a cool little town like this and not checking out the cemetery. That's cow bones. Oh, you're interested in that, aren't you? What a wonderful cemetery. And it's a lot bigger than I would think for a place this size. These are really fantastic cemeteries that you find in Mexico. They're so much better than the sterile modern cemeteries that you find in the US. You see the lives of the people who lived here in their cemeteries, from the very ornate graves to the very simple graves that are just stones. And the whole cemetery is overlooking El Pilon, that very prominent mountain in the background. And that mountain is obviously a pretty major landmark for this area. Oh, I thought this grave would be hard to find, but it's the biggest thing in the cemetery. This one must be the wife, and this one is Loretto de Blackman, who died in 1912. And you're probably wondering why I'm interested in Loretto and his wife. There's a little legend about this town and this guy, Loretto Blackman, who came to this town from Europe, and he was an older guy and married a young wife. And very soon after the marriage, she died of an anemia, and everybody thought he was a vampire. And so that is known as Vampire Blackman's grave. But what an awesome cemetery. I mean, this is just one of the loveliest cemeteries that I've seen so far. Padre, en tus manos encomiendo mi espíritu. I don't know. I like to visit the dead people. It makes you feel a little bit more connected to a place or something. I don't know. I don't know what the feeling is or really why I like cemeteries, but I mean, except for that this cemetery is really cool. I mean, anybody would be like, that's a cool cemetery, I think. but I don't know. We have 3 choices of directions to go from here, and I've been pondering them all and waffling, but what it really comes down to is I don't think I want to drive on that much dirt. Let me show you the map. We are here at Purisima, and one option is to take a dirt road all the way over to Highway 1. That's about 40 miles. I don't think it's going to be a very exciting road. And then it's a ways before we can find gas. Option 2 is heading to the west coast on a whole bunch of dirt roads, and it's a long, long way before we hit highway again. About 150 miles. Option 3 is to head south on the highway and then east on the highway and then back up north. So our options are 40 miles of dirt, 150-ish miles of dirt with maybe one gas station. And it's not a gas station. It's a guy with barrels who siphons gas into your vehicle. And it's at the beginning of that 150 miles. And I could pick up more gas, but I'm just tired of dirt for the moment. So we are heading south into civilization and retreading ground that we've already gone on. And I will spare you guys some of the retreads, but if I see anything interesting along the way, we'll stop for that. And my overall goal is to get near Mulegé. Mulegé? A cool oasis town that I saw coming on my way down that I think would be neat to visit. So that's what we're doing. Putting on some highway miles today. Aurora Har. And if you're new to the channel and wondering who I am and what's going on here, I'm Katie. That's Tuck. This is my Jeep, and we're on a pretty massive road trip, and I'm bringing you guys along with me. Before we leave town, we're going to stop by this little shrine because it looked intriguing from the road. Our Lady of Guadalupe. That one's all done in sparkles. What a nice little shrine. I'm betting there's another one up there because I can see a little plaque with Our Lady of Guadalupe up on that canyon wall, but it's too hot to walk. We've got a lot of miles to go on road that looks just like this. Straight roads, not much variation in the landscape, and thank goodness, not many cars. We finally made it. I know it's been seconds for you guys, but it's been an all-day drive. And we are kind of near Loretto. And yeah, you do, and you've been putting up with being in the car a lot yesterday and today. He's just got to let his zoomies out a little bit. We are at kind of a really random spot, but it's got lovely views out into the Gulf of California. And behind us, where the sun has just set behind the mountains, is the mountains that we were on the other side of yesterday. The Sierra de la Giganta. Giant Sierra. And they are actually pretty big mountains. You can't see the biggest ones from where we are, but they're big. Stuff is gonna fall out. Where do we put your water bowl? So this is not the greatest, most awesomest campsite ever. It's actually kind of a little random, but it feels very safe. There's nobody back here. And it's actually, I think, in the national park. I'm not sure. There's a trail right down the road. in the national park. So this may be actually in a national park. They're a little different here. What I didn't show you guys was that I checked out like 4 different places before settling on this one. The beaches are just jam-packed with people right now. And I even checked out a hotel, which had room, but also had 2 aggressive dogs running around. I mean, we got out of the car and they were like, "We're going to attack your dog." So we're not staying there. They didn't attack, but they came up like, "Rawr, rawr, rawr." And yeah, we're not making Tuck deal with that. And I checked out a couple other places that just were pretty meh and a little too close to the highway. So this is it. And this will do. I mean, it's got nice views and it's safe. Do you finish all your dinner? You're so happy to be out of the car. Yeah, me too. Me too. His tennis ball lost its squeaker. We're gonna have to get some more. That's like his 6th one. Now I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do for dinner. I do have some mangoes left and some cheese, so that may be dinner. So I have been eating today, but I've been eating a pound cake, a small pound cake that I bought at a convenience store this morning, and I had that for breakfast and lunch. I just was not feeling like figuring out food, so that's what we did. And yeah, I think I gotta figure out something for dinner. Get some protein. So probably munch on some cheese and a mango. And that's it. And I'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning, folks, from the Mission de Mulegé on the Baja Peninsula in Mexico. It's a beautiful morning. I mean, it's getting hot already, but it's still lovely right now. I think this is one of the first missions on the Baja Peninsula and was established, I think, in the late 1700s. It's a beautiful old Spanish building, and it's a little cooler in here than it is outside. Right behind the mission is a little high point you can climb up and get an overview of this whole area, this whole oasis, which is quite incredibly stunning. And you can look down over the Mulegé River, which is the only permanent river in the entirety of the Baja Peninsula, which is pretty cool. This is a great place. And there are a bazillion beautiful, beautiful beaches nearby. I like Mulegé. And just beyond that hill out there is the ocean. And no visit would be complete without a visit to the cemetery. This little cemetery is perhaps a little neglected. This is a very small cemetery attached to the mission, and I assume it was probably the friars or priests or whomever would be at a mission are buried here. This is Teodoro Riverol, who died in 1874. Maria Teresa Riverol of Ferra, who died in 1861. How's that AC treating ya? It is still kind of early morning, and it is really hot out there. The longer I stay here, the more into summer I'm getting, and it's getting hot, and it gets hot early. And that probably wouldn't be as big of a deal if I had an air-conditioned van where I could hang out all day in one spot. But I have an air-conditioned Jeep, and I need to be moving if I need air conditioning, which is a large part of the day now. My current plan is to drive down into the town probably going to need to get some groceries because I really don't have much left. I've been eating peanut butter and jelly and mangoes and cheese for a little while. So getting a little extra food would be a good idea. And maybe I can find some place to get some brunch. Do you want to go find some brunch? Yeah, you're going to take a nap. Tuck has actually had a pretty full morning already, and at the place we were camped, there were some other campers there, and they had dogs, and they played and played and played. So he's tuckered already, which is wonderful. But yeah, let's go to town. These are definitely narrow little streets that are perhaps a little bit challenging to navigate. But a cute little town. It hasn't become Americanized or Canadianized. This still looks very much like a Spanish-dominated town and not an expat or tourist-dominated town. That said, I have no idea where I'm going. We're just wandering and seeing what we run into. We are quickly getting away from the type of area where I think I'm going to stumble upon a taco stand. I think this is leading us out to the lighthouse along the river, which is incredible. We've made our way to the main beach at Mulegé, and that's the lighthouse. And I found the expat neighborhood on the way here. There's some expensive houses up on that hill. Coming out here, we did pass a restaurant that looked open and appropriate, and we better go eat now before it starts really getting hot. I think this was a good choice for restaurants. I got the shrimp quesadillas, and they're kind of hot. And good. I don't know what kind of sauce they put on them, but whatever sauce is on the shrimp is delightful. Duck likes it too. That ended up being a really good choice for brunch. I was a little concerned that it would be a little too gringo because it's kind of in the expat area. But they had machaca on the menu, and that ain't gringo. Oh, I gotta get the AC going. It's absolutely fine outside in the shade, but as soon as you hit the sun, it's too hot. And it's getting too hot for little Tuck to be able to walk around because the ground gets hot. It's not quite there yet, but it's getting there. I gotta tell you guys, not that it's gonna come as any surprise, but Google Maps has a real problem with figuring out what streets are one-way streets here and which ones are two-way streets. You got to look at the cars and how they're parked on the side of the road to be sure, because the signage isn't that great either. You got to be paying attention. That just really doesn't look safe. There's no OSHA here. I think this tope marks the end of the town, so we will look for groceries and gas in the next town, which is San Ignacio, which is another town that I passed by on my way down, but didn't stop because I was in a hurry. So we're gonna stop. Oh no, there's one more tope. We have a whole lot of highway to drive, and there aren't good dirt roads that I can find that connect where we are from where we're going. So highway. A lot of highway. We have reached San Ignacio, and I just ran into the grocery store and got a couple of groceries. And now I think we're just gonna swing through town. It's too hot outside to do any walking, but we'll check it out because it looks like a cool oasis town. And there is a mission here, and maybe I'll walk into the mission. Kind of depends on how I'm feeling. But let's go check out this town. It looks like there's some pretty cool camping spots here, like established campgrounds that look quite nice. Especially for a town this size. I think it's only like 500 or 600 people. It's a pretty small town. I suspect this is a common place for people to stay over when they are driving down the peninsula and back up the peninsula. And it's pretty awesome how much it cools down when you just get into the oasis a little bit. It's nice. And San Ignacio is another Pueblo Magico, and look at that. This is the lagoon of the town and perfectly placed volcano at the end of it. A lot of the trunks on the palm trees are blackened by fire. I don't know how long ago the fire was. I have no way of judging that in this kind of territory. And do I know where I'm going? No. I'm following the signs I saw that said that the mission was this way, because this is another mission town. Yeah, this is a nice little town. I'm pleasantly surprised. Looks like we might be entering the town. Oh, there's the mission. Hopefully we can find a spot in the shade, and we can if I turn around, which I will do. Oh, there's lots of little restaurants here. Yeah, this would be a good town to chill out in, get some food and camp. This is for sure the coolest mission building that I've seen so far. This one's very elaborate. And you have the town park and town square right behind it. And some saints in the niches. The main altarpiece is very impressive. And so are the side altars. I don't know who this is, but it's kind of interesting that people have left bracelets and charms and hair thingies. And here's the Mary room. There's kind of always a Mary room. All right, there we go. Some information. This was built in 1716 by the Jesuits. During the first third of the 19th century, the indigenous population disappeared completely from this mission's territory due to epidemic disease and cultural changes in their way of life. I think that might be a chimney. Check out those stairs. For reference, the stairs are kind of way up there. I can't dawdle because I do need to get down the road so that we get to a camp spot. This to me is like the quintessential Mexican small town and square. And they have cute little businesses. We've got our coffee shop, our Rancho Grande restaurant and bar, ice cream. Nah, I don't want any ice cream. Can't believe I just said I don't want any ice cream. If I hadn't just had brunch a very short time ago, I would absolutely be getting food here. So those restaurants look great. Okay, I'm supposed to take a slight right, but I gotta tell you guys, there's a horse pulled up to the Six store. Way cool little town. And now it's time to carry on. I learned a new term down here in the Baja Peninsula called the Baja Kiss. And I hope to not experience that. The roads are so narrow here that when you have two cars going in either direction, encountering each other, there's a non-zero chance that you could get your side view mirror knocked off. And especially non-zero chance when it's a big semi. And that would be called a Baja kiss. So far, my tendency to hug the right side of the road, which I've always done, has stood me in good stead. After a long day of driving, we have arrived at the Pacific Ocean. Again, we are just a little bit north of Herrera Negro and are camping at one of those spots on the ocean near the sand dunes that I had looked at when I was here last and thought that it might be nice to camp here. Are you so ready to be out of the car? Me too. Oh. Oh, happy dog. It's kind of cold and windy. It's glorious. Oh. And look at those clouds. I did look at the weather forecast and it could rain a little bit, but I don't think it's going to rain much if it does rain. And you can see the sand dunes over there, which is where we camped last time, where the big tour bus showed up. This is a lot quieter and more private, and you have the Pacific Ocean just steps away. It's cold enough for a sweatshirt. That's amazing. I might even have to find pants. One of the reasons I wanted to come back to the West Coast is because I knew the weather was a little cooler over here, but this exceeds expectations. It's delightful. Oh, you're so happy. You are so happy. Oh, and there goes the very last light of the sun. And guys, I think that's it for today. And I want to thank all of you for coming along with me. It's amazing that you're coming along with me. And if you made it this far in the video and you're not a subscriber yet, maybe you should subscribe. And I'll see you down the road.